Hey there, AP testers. Just wanted to, kind of touch base with you, go over a few last minute tidbits, bits of advice. Hopefully you've been, studying, looking over the practice DBQ assignments, the actual DBQs that I've graded, the feedback from those. The DBQ reflection assignment for this week is an excellent thing to look over. Just to kind of compare what you're doing with what the College Board says is good. But a few things I wanted to go over with you. First and foremost, AP exam is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You want to get on your email and click on your exam ticket about 30 minutes before. Please make sure that you've went through the system demo, that you've got your checklist. If you don't have it printed, pull it up. I'll show you where it is. And that you have everything good to go. I'll go ahead and tell you, the College Board's saying about 1% of people are having some problems submitting things online, which doesn't sound all that bad, but we're talking thousands of people. So just kind of know that is a possibility. So make sure you use an updated browser and kind of take the steps to try to ensure that you're not one of those people that get your stuff messed up. Good thing is now, if there is a catastrophic problem, I believe you'll get a message that you can actually email your stuff within a certain time period. Plus, if there is something just really crazy that happens, there is a makeup date in June, which if that applies to you, contact me and we'll go over that specific information. So a couple things I just wanted to go over with you real quick. Lots of resources under files. So if you navigate to files and go down to AP exam resources, it may be under distance learning on yours. For some reason it's showing up in different places, but it's there. A few things I just want to kind of go over with you. First and foremost, I would like you, and if you went up to the school, you should have this, but go to the AP student exam day checklist. Takes a little while to download, so I'm just going to go ahead and go to it. This ideally you would have with you while you're taking the exam. You'd have it printed up. Is that absolutely mandatory? No. But should, if at all possible. Again, this kind of walks you through some basic things to go over before you ever start. So look over this. I'm not going to read it, verbatim. But there's some really, important things. Your AP ID number, you're going to need that on the top of, I believe, your essays, which is, right here. Have your AP ID number, have your initials. That's whether or not you type it or write it. If you handwrite it, you definitely have that stuff written on top, your initials, and you need to number the pages. Really all starts with your AP exam ticket. You should have already gotten this by now. If you have not gotten it, you need to contact me immediately, because that's something that without that, I don't know if you're taking the test. I will tell you, excuse me, while I believe you can access the actual test through the MyAP website, from my understanding, that sometimes is a little testy. Access it through your ticket. There should be a link. It's going to have all of your instructions and things like that. Make sure your devices are charged and good to go. If you're, your internet browser, the College Board says the people that things have went awry, it's because of the browser they're using. Highly recommend Chrome. They say Firefox, Safari, Edge, Chrome, I think is probably your best bet. You need to do the demo, make sure it all works on your computer. You need to go over all the rules and regulations and stuff like that. Some of them we're going to go over here in a second, but I sent you those videos. I'm also going to show you the big, long document that goes over everything that you need. I'm not going to go over the rest of this. It's a 45-minute time limit. Technically, there's 5 minutes at the end to get everything uploaded. Use your time effectively, but make sure that you're ready to upload at the end of that 5 minutes. Don't try to write until, the very last minute and then try to upload, because, again, that's where weird stuff could happen. Other real basic stuff, just while I'm thinking about it, look over your College Board rubric. You know, if you could print that up, that'd be great, but at least have it pulled up, know what they're looking for. It's a little bit different than what we did through the school year, but it's pretty darn close. Have a quiet place to, you know, do this if at all possible. If not, maybe plug in some earphones. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Study materials. That's a good thing. These study guides we've been working on, you know, these, oh my God, stupid study guides. They're very repetitive. Guys, I know that, but we're doing it for a reason. With this distance education, I felt like that was the best way to put some notes in your hand and to get you kind of thinking about the time periods. The good thing, as you know, on the DBQ essay, I mean, it's not all about just your content knowledge. It's about, you know, the procedure involved. But there are 2 points there that are specifically for outside knowledge. You also have the point for context, which you're going to have to kind of paint a picture of what the time period was like, you know, surrounding this topic. So, you know, you can use those notes. If you are fortunate enough to have your notebook, that would be a great resource. But just have everything organized that you'll need. The AMSCO textbook, you know, it's there. You can access it. At the beginning of each one of these units, there's like a little introduction to the unit. Lots of good information there. So if you find yourself in a time period that you're not familiar with, you may want to pop over here and just check it out real fast. Or maybe even just kind of look over it to study. That's just kind of up to you. Anyway, sorry, man, technology's hateful. Let's see where we are. We want to be back here. Okay, AP exam resources. The rubric itself, let's click on that real quick. Do I have that up and running? No, I do not. Let's just kind of see how long it takes to pull up. Not that bad. Same as usual, I'm not going through this point by point, but read it. Don't just glance it over, read it. I'm telling you, you know, it goes over all sorts of stuff, all sorts of very specific information that can help you. Context is an area that people are struggling with. Man, this is your background information. Imagine that the person reading it has no idea what the topic's about, no idea what the time period's about. This is where you're going to tell them, but you got to be specific. Like the practice essay, it was on imperialism, responses to imperialism. That's the one I sent out, I believe, last Friday. It's on files as well. Man, pretend I don't know what imperialism is. So explain it. Why were countries, you know, going out there and in empire building? Where were they going? You know, that's the sort of stuff you need to go over for your context. Your evidence, that's using your documents. You could theoretically get a fair amount of points if you just use 2 documents. You can get 2 of those points just for using 2. You get an extra point if you can manage to use at least 4. Obviously, if you have the time and the ability, use all 5. But if you look at these documents and you're like, man, I don't understand a couple of them, you could write a solid DBQ essay using 2 documents. So just think about that. Read it over. Outside evidence. Okay, this is the stuff that you would want to probably use notes on unless you just have stuff right at the top of your head. Additional stuff. Things that are not in the documents anywhere but connect to the overall topic. Okay? Think vocabulary, people, places, things, you know, define it, explain it, connect it to the overall topic. If it's not in the documents, boom, there's some points right there. You should try to do this at least twice. For me, especially if you don't know anything, write your essay, and then at the end, if you have time, look through your notes, look through your resources, and then try to kind of inject some of that stuff in before you submit it. And then finally, of course, analysis and reasoning. You got to do this for at least 1 document, preferably 2 to get full credit for the first 2 points. It's your cap. Again, it's not enough to say the point of view is this. The purpose is this. Take it further. How does who this person is affect what they said and why they would say it? Again, a lot of this is speculation. That's totally cool. Just go into detail, do the best you can. And then you've got the unicorn point, which, oh my God. Complex understanding is a big thing. Show that you really know your topic. You go above and beyond. You do more than you have to. Again, this is one that's hard to prepare for, but it is doable. So look over this rubric. You got to know the rubric. Just kind of keep that in mind. They'll probably have like a little sample prior to the prompt, but still, you may want to have that out. That sample DBQ that I talked about with imperialism, it's right there. The AP testing guide, that's the last thing we're going to look at real quick. This is huge. It's like 50 pages. Heimler has a video where he breaks it down in more detail than this, but I'm going to hit the high notes really quick. But let's zoom out a little bit. So resources, you need to have your checklist. You need to have all your notes and stuff organized. Make sure that you're going through your e-ticket. Make sure you've done your demo. Make sure all that stuff. This is an explanation of your e-ticket. It's going to tell you what all information is going to be on there. Like I said, you see that little button that says go to exam. That is how you should access your exam. Get in there 30 minutes beforehand. This is only valid for the May exam schedule. If something crazy happens and you have to take it in June, some sort of catastrophic accident or technical problem, they're going to email you another ticket. Your exam is at 1 o'clock, so log in by 12:30. You'll have a 45-minute time limit with 5 minutes there at the end, I believe, to submit your work. Use your time. If you bang this out in 30 minutes, don't say, oh, man, I'm done. This is fantastic. Look at it again. See what you can add. Look through your notes. Maybe you already got 2 pieces of outside information. Put some more in there if you can. Again, you really want to do your due diligence. You want to be as thorough as possible. This kind of talks about all this good stuff. Ways to submit responses. If you're comfortable typing, I think the easiest way is type it up, copy and paste it over. If you're trying to take a picture and then upload it, in my opinion, anytime you have multiple pieces of technology, you're increasing the likelihood of something weird happening. But again, you do what's best to you. You can copy and paste. You can, if you got Word or something like that running, you could attach the document. You can take photos. Now, a couple things. First, make sure if you're taking a photo, it's a clear photo. You can write in pen or paper or pencil, I think. Use a pen if you can. I believe that this is going to come out much more clearly. If they can't see what you wrote, you don't get credit. Lastly, it's got to be in the right file format. PNG, JPG, JPEG. Anything else ain't going to work. So just keep that in mind. Scroll down a little bit more. And again, you've seen where this is. Requesting a makeup exam. There should be a link at some point, but it's right there. cb.org/request makeup. But again, go ahead and get this done. You don't want this hanging over your head. 5 steps. Sent you a link out with this a long time ago. You should have done this already. Review your contact information. You really should have done this because if you didn't, I don't know, they may not send you a ticket. Check your tech. I'm not going over all this stuff because that is just way too much. Things you need. It's kind of repetitive too. But look it over. Okay, optional resources. This is a big one. Things you can use. Your notes, textbooks, your AMSCO books online. You can use that. Previous assignments. All of those assignments you've done in distance learning. If you have other assignments, that's fine. You can search something on the web. You can. But if you use anything that's like collaborative, like a Google Doc that you and your friends are all using, you could get busted. That's not good. You will get busted. Don't do that. Don't be texting back and forth. You don't have time for all that. And the thing is, searching things online, you never know if the information's accurate. And if it's too close to what's written online, they're going to pop you for cheating. Don't copy anything. Me personally, write your essay. Use what you have. If time permits at the end, if you want to fact check, if you want to find some other stuff, cool. But get your stuff in. Don't waste your time trying to Google everything because honestly, man, you just don't have time for all that. Trying to think if there's anything else. There's other stuff here. But again, I think you guys are going to be fine. You're smart kids. The notes that you have, if you did a good job, okay? So like on these distance notes, if you just copy and pasted all the answers and didn't watch the videos, those notes ain't going to do anything for you. And that's a shame on you because the videos were designed to get you ready for this test. But if you did it the legit way, man, you've been exposed to what you need to know. You have some excellent notes, especially if you have your notebook as well, man. You got a wealth of stuff to look over. You shouldn't have to search for too much. Guys, you've worked hard all year for this. Hopefully you've been working hard while you've been home. You can all pass this test. You can. And really, some would say this year's exam is easier than it's ever been because if you can just write a DBQ essay, you should get it. And remember, the DBQ, you don't need to know a whole lot. You need to follow the rubric. You need to give them what they're asking for. Put forth a good effort. Do not rush through it. Make sure you've got everything laid out in advance. And I am confident you will be successful. If you need anything over the next 24 hours or so, just email me. I'm going to be monitoring my email pretty closely, especially tomorrow morning. So I will get back to you as soon as I can. But guys, you can do this stuff. I'm confident in you. You're AP students for a reason. You were hardworking. You were intelligent. You got this. Luckily, before all this happened, we had covered all the material that you need to know. So just keep that in mind. Study, prepare, go in with a good mind. Try to be calm. Make sure you eat some breakfast, eat some lunch beforehand. Find a quiet place to do this and get this thing done. As always, if you need anything, please let me know. Assignments, just quick reminder, get those in, especially if you have been slacking. Last day I'm going to accept work is next Thursday. I guess midnight's the deadline. And the reason for that is I imagine I'm going to have a lot of work coming in. I'm not staying up till midnight, so I'm going to be grading stuff, the next morning to get it done. I have to have all my grades in by noon. So if you send me something at 11 a.m. on Friday, man, I'm not going to accept it. I probably won't have time to even look at it. So don't do that. You've had plenty of time. The vast majority of the stuff I've sent, it takes a little bit, but it's not hard. I'm looking for effort. So give me some good effort. If you're taking this exam, which, well, really you shouldn't be watching this video if you're not, man, do your best. Good luck. Miss you guys. Come see me next year if I don't see you sooner than that. Good luck. Best wishes. All that good fun stuff. Now let me figure out how to turn this thing off. See you guys later.